Have you ever felt it? That burning sensation in your chest, the tightening in your jaw, the relentless loop of a single thought that says, this should not be happening. We have a name for it: frustration. And you have been taught your entire life that it is a poison, a sign of weakness, an emotional state to be suppressed, medicated, or meditated away. Being told it is a signal to stop, to retreat, to give up. Today, I will tell you that this is one of the most profound lies you have ever been told. Frustration is not poison, it is power. The question is how to harness it. We live our lives believing that a smooth path is the goal. We seek comfort, ease, a life without friction. But a fundamental law of the universe is that energy is only revealed through resistance. A string on an instrument makes no sound until it is met with the friction of a bow or a finger. A muscle does not grow stronger until it pushes against the resistance of a weight. And your spirit, your will, does not forge its true strength until it meets an obstacle. The obstacle is not your enemy. The traffic jam, the difficult client, the project that fails, the conversation you cannot seem to win. These are not punishments. They are invitations. They are moments of intense energetic concentration. Think of your life force, your chi, as a river. When it flows unimpeded, you feel calm, perhaps even content. But when that river meets a dam, an obstacle, the water doesn't just stop. The pressure builds, the energy concentrates, the force becomes immense. For most of your life, you have been taught to fear the dam, to see that rising pressure as a threat. You either try to flee from it, or you let the pressure build until it bursts in a chaotic flood of anger, resentment, or despair, damaging yourself and those around you. This is the illusion. The dam is not the problem. The pressure is not the problem. Your relationship to the pressure is the only thing that matters. Because that concentrated force is the most valuable resource you possess. It is the raw material of creation. It is the atomic energy of frustration. Every time you feel that heat rising within you, I want you to change the inner dialogue. Instead of thinking, I hate this feeling, I want you to pause and recognize, here it is, power. You are not weak for feeling it. You are powerful. You are a living system generating a surplus of energy, because some part of you, deep down, knows that the current reality does not match your potential. Frustration is the gap between where you are and where you know you could be. It is the cry of your potential, begging to be unleashed. It is the dragon you have been taught to slay, when in fact, it is the dragon you were born to ride. So, how do we learn to ride this dragon? How do we move from being the victim of this pressure to becoming the master engineer of our own inner power plant? This is not a matter of positive thinking. This is a matter of profound internal alchemy. To become an alchemist, you must first understand your laboratory. And that laboratory is your own mind-body system. The transformation of frustration from chaotic lead into focused gold is not a metaphor. It is a tangible, biological and neurological process. When you encounter an obstacle, your brain's ancient alarm system, the amygdala, is the first to react. It doesn't think, it doesn't reason, it screams threat and floods your system with chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline. This is the raw, chaotic, burning sensation of frustration. It's the feeling of being out of control, because in that moment, your ancient survival brain has hijacked the system. It prepares you for a primitive response. Fight or flee. But you are more than this ancient alarm bell. You possess the most sophisticated tool in the known universe, the prefrontal cortex. This is the seat of your awareness, your focus, your intention. This is the alchemist. The alchemist does not try to fight the alarm bell. It does not try to deny the flood of chemicals. It does one simple, extraordinary thing. It creates a space between the trigger and the response. In that space, that sacred pause, lies the entirety of your freedom and your power to transform. The first step in this alchemy is to simply label the energy, to see the rising tide of cortisol not as I am angry, but as I am experiencing a surge of energy. This small shift in language is the first turn of the key. You are not the emotion. You are the one who is aware of the emotion. You are scientists observing the chemical reaction, not the chemicals themselves. From this place of awareness, we can begin to apply the techniques that take this wild, raw energy and channel it through the lens of our intention, turning a destructive fire into a focused laser beam capable of cutting through any obstacle. And the science behind this is as fascinating as it is empowering. In the late 1990s, researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison, led by the pioneering neuroscientist Dr. Richard Davidson, conducted a series of groundbreaking experiments. They studied the brain activity of individuals who were masters of focus and emotional regulation, Tibetan monks with tens of thousands of hours of meditation practice. They exposed these monks to intense emotional stimuli, sounds and images designed to provoke powerful reactions like fear and anger. The average person's brain would show a prolonged, chaotic response in the amygdala, but the monks' brains were astonishingly different. Yes, their amygdalas fired up. They were not suppressing the emotion. They felt it, but almost instantly, another part of their brain lit up with incredible intensity, the left prefrontal cortex, the area associated with positive isms and decisive action. It was as if a master conductor had stepped onto the podium the moment the orchestra became chaotic, and with a single motion of the baton, brought the entire symphony into a powerful, focused harmony. Dr. Davidson called this quality affective style, demonstrating that resilience and emotional regulation are not fixed traits, but tradable skills. What they were witnessing was a brain that had been physically rewired through practice to not just recover from a stressful trigger, but to use the energy of that trigger to deepen its state of focus. This is not a mystical ability reserved for monks in mountaintops. This is a fundamental capacity of your own brain. You are the conductor. Your frustration is the orchestra. Now, let's learn how to use the baton. The laboratory is your mind, the chemicals are your emotions, and the alchemist is your awareness. The experiments conducted by Dr. Davidson proved that the conductor, your focused mind, can indeed bring the orchestra of your brain into harmony, even in the midst of chaos. But proof is not practice. Knowing the path is not the same as walking it. The bridge between knowing and doing, between the chaotic reaction and the alchemical response, is built with a single tool. It is the most fundamental tool of Shaolin practice, and it is the one thing you have with you every second of every day, from the moment you are born to the moment you die. Your breath. The breath is the physical manifestation of your spirit. In an agitated state, it is shallow and rapid. In a state of peace, it is deep and slow. But this connection is not a one-way street. Just as your emotional state changes your breath, you can consciously use your breath to change your emotional state. It is the remote control for your nervous system. When the fire of frustration surges, the first thing that is stolen from you is your breath. You begin to breathe from the top of your chest, signaling to your body that you are in danger. This shallow breathing reinforces the amygdala's alarm, creating a feedback loop of anxiety and agitation. To break this loop is the first act of the alchemist. To master this is the first step in forging your power. A sword is not made in a single strike. It is heated, hammered, and folded upon itself thousands of times. Each fold removes impurities and strengthens the steel. Your will is this sword. Frustration is the fire that heats the metal. And these practices are the hammer strikes that shape it. We will begin with the most critical practice, the one you must master before all others. I call it the first forge, the anchor of breath. When you feel the heat of frustration rising, that is the signal. The fire is hot. Do not react. Do not speak. Do not type the angry email. Your only task is to execute this four-step sequence. We will use a count of 4, but you can adapt it to 5 or 6 as you become more practiced. 1. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. As you breathe in, I want you to visualize that you are gathering all of that chaotic, fiery energy from your chest and your mind. You are not fighting it. You are collecting it. Pull it into your lungs. 2. Hold your breath for 4 seconds. This is the most crucial step. In this pause, or you are containing the energy. You are the master of the reactor. You are observing the fire without being burned. In this hold, You create that sacred space between stimulus and response. You are telling your body, with intention, I am in control here. 3. Exhale through your mouth for 4 seconds. As you exhale, you are not releasing your power. You are releasing the chaos. Imagine you are venting the smoke, the noise, the pressure, but keeping the pure, clean heat of the energy within you. Let the tension in your jaw and shoulders dissolve with the breath. 4. Hold the breath out for 4 seconds. In this emptiness, there is stillness. This is the moment you connect with your center. The storm has passed. The orchestra is silent, awaiting the conductor's command. You are now in a state of clarity. Do this sequence for yourself 5 times. It will take you less than a minute. In that single minute, you will have performed a complete neurological and biological reset. You have taken back command from the amygdala and handed the baton to the alchemist, your prefrontal cortex. What is happening inside you during this simple practice is nothing short of extraordinary. Winding its way through your body is the longest and most complex of the cranial nerves, the vagus nerve. Think of it as the superhighway of your body's mind-body connection. It connects your brain to nearly every major organ, including your heart and your gut. Dr. Stephen Porges, in his development of the polyvagal theory at universities like the University of Illinois at Chicago and the University of North Carolina, identified this nerve as the primary regulator of our fight or flight versus our rest and digest systems. It is, in essence, the master switch for your body's sense of safety. When you are frustrated, that switch is flipped to threat. But the vagus nerve has a fascinating design. You can consciously activate it. The most powerful way to do this is through controlled, diaphragmatic breathing, especially with a prolonged exhale. When you perform the anchor of breath practice, you are physically stimulating your vagus nerve. This stimulation sends a powerful signal back to your brain that says, the threat is over, stand up, we are safe. It is the biological equivalent of a parent calmly reassuring a startled child. You are using your own breath to tell your ancient brain that you are in command and you are safe. This isn't just a calming technique, it is a direct, manual override of your body's panic button. It's a physiological system for creating inner peace on demand. With each cycle of this breath, you are not just calming down. You are reclaiming territory. You are rewiring your brain to know that you are the authority, not your fleeting emotional states. This is the first fold of the steel. Practice it not only in moments of crisis, but in moments of stillness. Practice it in line at the store. Practice it before a difficult conversation. Every time you do, you are making the sword of your will sharper, stronger, and more resilient. You have anchored yourself in the storm. Now, it is time to learn how to harness the wind. You have used the anchor of breath to reclaim your center. You have stopped the chaotic flood. You have shown your nervous system that you are the one in command. The fire of frustration still burns, but now it is contained within the furnace of your awareness. It no longer threatens to burn the house down. Instead, it is ready to be used. The energy without direction is useless. A calm mind without a point of focus can quickly be reclaimed by the storm of chaotic thoughts. So, the second strike of the hammer is about channeling. It is about taking the calm you have generated and giving it a precise, unwavering direction. This is the second forge. The second forge, the gaze of the mountain. The mountain is not disturbed by the weather. The wind howls. The clouds race by. The storms rage upon its slopes. But the mountain remains. It is the definition of stability. Your frustration, your anxious thoughts, your fears, they are the weather. Your awareness can be the mountain. But still you have completed several cycles of the anchor of breath. Your task is simple. Find one single, unmoving point in your environment. It can be the corner of a room, a character on your keyboard, a leaf on a distant tree, a simple spot on the wall. It does not matter what it is. It only matters that it is still. Now, rest your gaze upon it. Do not stare with intensity. Do not stir with intensity. Do not strain your eyes. Let your gaze be soft, relaxed, but unwavering. Fail. As you look at this single point, I want you to truly see it. Notice its texture, its shape, its relationship to the space around it. For your attention, which was just moments ago scattered in 100 directions by frustration, into this one point, your mind will try to pull you away. The story of your frustration will call to you. Remember why you are angry. Think about what they said. Worry about what will happen next. This is normal. This is the weather. Your job is not to fight the thoughts. Your job is to remain the mountain. Each time you notice your mind has wandered, gently, without judgment, guide your attention back to your point of focus. What you are doing is practicing one of the most essential skills of self-mastery: intentional redirection of focus. You are actively disengaging from the part of your brain that loves to ruminate and create stories, the default mode network, and you are engaging the part of your brain responsible for executive function and task focus. You are teaching your mind, like a wild horse, that you are the one who decides where it will gallop. Do this for another minute. Breathe and gaze. In this state, something shifts. The emotional charge of your frustration begins to separate from the energy of your frustration. The story fades, but the power remains. You are no longer angry at your boss. You are now a calm, focused individual in possession of a significant amount of surplus energy. You have anchored your breath. You have focused your gaze. Now, and only now, are you ready for the final strike? The one that turns potential into reality. The third forge, the strike of one step. Frustration creates paralysis. The problem seems so large, so overwhelming, that we do not know where to begin. And so we do nothing, and the pressure builds. The strike of one step is the antidote to this paralysis. It is the hammer blow that shatters inertia. In the state of calm focus you have just cultivated, ask yourself one, and only one, question. What is the single smallest, most productive physical action I can take right now? The key words here are single, smallest, and physical. We are not looking for the grand solution. We are not trying to solve the entire problem in one move. We are looking for the next domino, the first lever. If you are frustrated with a large project, the step might be, open the document, or write one sentence. If you are frustrated in a cluttered home, the step might be, pick up one object and put it away. If you are frustrated with your health, the step might be, put on my running shoes, or pour a glass of water. The size of the action is irrelevant. The doing of the action is everything. Why? Because action is the language the universe understands, and more importantly, it is the language your own brain understands. There is a powerful principle in behavioral psychology known as behavioral activation. It's a cornerstone of modern therapies for overcoming states of inertia like depression and anxiety. For decades, the common belief was that you needed to feel motivated before you could take action. But researchers discovered the opposite is more effective. You must take action to create the feeling of motivation. Shi Heng, Beck and his colleagues, pioneers of cognitive behavioral therapy, demonstrated that our brains are wired to respond to our own actions. When you are trapped in frustration, your brain is often deprived of dopamine, the neurotransmitter of reward and motivation. You are in a state of chemical paralysis. You cannot think your way into more dopamine, but you can act your way into it. When you complete a task, no matter how minuscule, your brain releases a small amount of dopamine. The strike of one step is a form of self-administered neurochemistry. By taking one small, decisive action, you provide your brain with tangible proof of your own agency. You prove to yourself that you are not powerless. This initial hit of dopamine then makes the next action slightly easier, which releases more dopamine, creating an upward spiral of momentum. You are literally building your motivation, one action at a time. You are using a scientifically validated principle to become your own alchemist, turning the lead of inaction into the gold of momentum. So, once you have identified that single, small step, you must execute it immediately, without hesitation. This is the strike. This is the hammer meeting the says. Breathe, gaze, strike. These three forges, practiced together, are a complete system. They will take you from a state of chaotic, reactive frustration to a state of calm, focused, and decisive action in under 3 minutes. You have now learned how to stop being the victim of your own power. You have learned how to hold the fire without getting burned. You have learned how to forge the sword of your will. Now, it is time to build your empire with it. You have journeyed inward. You have faced the dragon of your frustration, not with a sword to slay it, but with the intention to understand it. You have learned that its fire is the very fire of creation. You have practiced the forges, the breath, the gaze, the single step, to shape the raw steel of your will into a magnificent blade. A sword like this is not meant to hang on a wall. It is meant to be wielded. It is meant to carve a new reality. It is time to build your empire. When I say the word empire, I do not want you to picture land or money or the applause of others. Those are fleeting. They are outcomes, and often they are trapped. The true empire, the only one that can never be conquered, is the one you build within yourself. The Stoic philosophers called it the inner citadel. It is your kingdom of thoughts, discipline, and choices. It is the unshakable foundation of your character. External success is merely a reflection of a well-ruled inner world. If your inner kingdom is in chaos, your external life would be a battlefield of frustration. But if you build a citadel of strength, peace, and order within, the outside world will have no choice but to begin reflecting that order back to you. So how do we build it? You now possess the tools, but the shift we must now make is from being reactive to being proactive. You no longer need to wait for frustration to strike you like lightning. You can now use frustration as the most honest and accurate compass you will ever own. Your frustration is a map. It is pointing with perfect precision to every area of your empire that requires your attention as its ruler. Look at your life. Where does the heat of frustration consistently arise? Do not see these as areas of failure. See them as the provinces of your empire calling for development. Is it in your career? Do you feel unseen, undervalued, or stagnant? This is not a curse. It is a massive concentration of energy telling you that your potential is not being met. The old you would have let this energy curdle into resentment or apathy. The new you, the alchemist, recognizes it as fuel. So, you will build. Every single day, you will perform the strike of one step. You will read one page of a book to learn a new skill. You will send one email to expand your network. You will dedicate 15 minutes to a project that is truly yours. You are not escaping your job. You are building the next province of your empire, brick by brick, using the very energy of your dissatisfaction as the mortar. Is it in your health? Do you feel frustrated with your body, your energy levels, your habits? Is your body's potential energy screaming for expression? Such agitation you feel is the desire to move, to be strong, to be vital. So, you will build this. You will use the anchor of breath when you crave the unhealthy food, creating the space to make a better choice. You will use the gaze of the mountain to focus on your goal, not the temporary discomfort of discipline. That feeling of "I don't want to do this" is the raw material. You will learn to greet it with a quiet smile and say, "Paul, here is the energy I need for my workout." Is it in your relationship? Does the same argument, the same dynamic, cause you endless frustration? This is a sign that a border of your empire is weak. A boundary needs to be defined, or a truth needs to be spoken. So, you will build. You will not enter these conversations in a state of chaotic reaction. You will first go to your forge. You will use your breath to find your calm center. You will use your gaze to focus on the outcome you truly desire, not to win, but to understand and be understood. And you will enter that conversation wielding your sword not as a weapon, but as a tool to carve a space for honesty and mutual respect. This is what it means to be the ruler of your own life. You stop seeing frustration as an enemy that attacks your walls. You start seeing it as a messenger that arrives at your gates, bringing you vital information about what your kingdom needs to thrive. You greet the messenger, thank it for the information, and then you, the ruler, calmly decide the next strategic move. Your inner citadel becomes a place of supreme calm and power, not because the storms have ceased outside, but because you know, with absolute certainty, that no storm can ever breach your walls again. You have the tools, you have the strategy, and you have the strength. We began this journey looking at a feeling you have been taught to hate. A burning, chaotic, most taught to hate. A burning, chaotic, uncomfortable poison. And now, I hope you see it for what it truly is. It is a gift. It is the fire of the gods, placed directly into your hands. It is the signal that you are alive, that you care, and that a part of you knows you are meant for more. You have learned that the obstacle is an illusion, that your mind is an alchemist's laboratory, and that with your breath, your focus, and a single step, you can forge a will of unbreakable steel. You do not need to seek this energy out. Life will bring it to you. Every single day, it will arrive in traffic. It will arrive in conversations. It will arrive in your own ambition. And now, instead of dreading it, you can welcome it, because you finally understand that the very thing that used to break you is now the very thing you will use to build. That fire you feel inside, it's not a flaw, it's a feature, it's the engine. The only question left is, what will you build with it? The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single thought. Perhaps the next step is to share yours. Down below, there's a space where other architects are starting to share the first brick they plan to lay for their own citadel. It's always powerful to see what others are building. Wafili, I will see you there.